Hey guys, welcome back to another Preachers Creatures video. In today's video, we're going to play with Fairy Tale Princess. And these other Mad Micas flake. I'm a grown man that plays with glitter. Hey guys, just like we mentioned in our intro, we're going to be experimenting today with 4 Mad Mica powders, glitters, flake, whatever you want to call them. I pick with my wife and tell her that grown men don't play with glitter, but here we are. You know what can you say? It's that's what's on the description, but it is what it is. All right, so the powder glitters that we're going to be using today is going to be Fairy Tale Princess. There's really no manly way to say that. The next one is going to be Nancy Sinatra's Gold Boots. I tell you, the Mad Micas crowd, they know how to name some stuff. Then the third one we're going to experiment with today is going to be their Quicksilver, which is always, silver is always a big color of flake for bait making. And then Neptune. That's a beautiful color right there. So what I'm wanting to do with these is, in this experiment, is just see how they hold up to the high temperatures of bait making, plastic bait making, and see if they hold up or if they bleed, those kinds of things. And what I'm wanting to do is very simple. I'm going to heat up a 1/4 cup of plastisol, and then I'm going to add a 1/32, see how that looks, then maybe add another one, see how it reacts, and then so then I'm going to shoot clear plastisol with the flake, just the flake in it, and I'm going to do that into the I think I'm going to use the 1.35 stonefly, the small stonefly. And my light just come on. How about that? I hadn't touched anything, and my circle light came on. Anyhow, so back to the information. I'm going to do the 1/4 cup of plastisol and add the flake. After I add the flake, I'm going to shoot the bait, the stonefly, the small one, and then I'm going to add a drop of black to the plastisol with the flake, and that way we kind of have that contrasting background to see how that affects it, and then shoot the same bait. If I have enough plastisol, I might shoot the bigger brother, the 2-inch, and then I'll show them to you, and then move on to the next color. I do have 8 of these total, but I'm only going to do the first 4 today, and then in the later on in the week, I'm hoping to get the rest of them experimented with and have that in a part 2 video. So guys, if you like this kind of thing, let me know in the comments below, and just appreciate you sticking with me and watching all the way to the end. That's an area I've got to improve on. Analytics are saying that people aren't necessarily staying and watching all the way to the end, and so that just tells me I've got to improve my videos so they're more entertaining or more informative to you. And but for those that do stick around all the way to the end, I really appreciate it. And earlier today, I was 2 subscribers away from hitting the 600 subscriber mark. And so we're on our way to 1,000. But thanks for everybody that comments and gives me advice and information that I put to use. I really do appreciate it. And so without any further delay, let's get into the video. I'm just using a 1/4 of a cup of plastisol because last time I checked, they don't hand out plastisol for free, and I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 8 different glitters to check, and I don't want to blow through a bunch of plastisol, so you guys understand. All right, so I think what we'll do is we will go with a quarter and a cup of plastisol, and we'll do 1/32 teaspoon of the glitter. And I tell my wife powder or flake. I tell her men don't play with glitter, but it's right there on the pack a lot of times, isn't it, men? So yeah, we do what we got to do. So there you can see beautiful color there, and it goes from pink to green in the cup. That's very interesting. Very interesting. So pink, and then you can see that green. Hopefully you can see that green shimmer in there. So let's stir that in and see what it does. It's a small amount of plastisol, so it's not going to take it very long to cool down on us. And yep, we're already at 300, so I'm going to have to bump that back in the microwave. But I will say this, it's held up. Already it's held up. I can see the effects of it. It turned the plastisol pink, and then but you can see the green shimmer in there. Very interesting. All right, we're going to heat that up, and we'll be right back. So got back up to around 365, and I'm not seeing, yeah, it's in there. It's in there. It looks like it may have dimmed it down a little bit, and that's probably my fault because of the temperature. So I'll tell you what, let's do. Let's put another 1/32 in there. That would be considered a heaping. And we're going to see what that does. And again, it tints the plastisol pink, but then you see the green glitter. Let's see if we can get this up here, what I'm talking about there. So very interesting. All right. See that on the... So I'm thinking you probably don't want to take it real hot, but see here, I can see that shimmer in there. I don't know if the camera picks that up. So let's shoot these real quick and see. Let's see what happens. We're going to shoot it in this 2-inch, or it's not the 2-inch. We're going to shoot it in the smaller stonefly mold. Okay, let's move the camera over here. There we go. I chose a smaller bait on purpose so that we could keep the majority of the plastisol, so that we could shoot bigger, shoot with some black too. And you can see how it's turned the plastisol pink. And so, but then you see the sprue, or the plug, and how it still has that shimmer and glitter to it. Let's see here. There you go. All right. So we'll let that cool off and we'll look at it. So we ended up adding 1/16 total to the of the flake. All right. Check the temp. All right, so we should have enough heat there, and I'm going to add just a small, because this is 2x colorant, so it's twice the. So a lot of times what I do is just, I'll rake it off the end there, trying to get a half a drop. Let's see if we can see the magic. That is interesting. Still get the color there. Let's see here. I think what we'll do is we'll pour this in our test mold. So that you guys can see the range. And I don't know that we have enough to really shoot any other mold but our small stone fly. Here's the first shot, and as you can see, there's a lot of color in that, and it turned the plastisol a very light pink, but then you can still see the shimmering effects of the glitter in there. I don't know if that's bleeding or if it is just light reflecting off of that pink. It's very interesting, but it's a very, very neat effect. Yep. So there's that. Now here is the test mold with 1 drop of black, which it's a 2x colorant, and so you can see what effect it has. I chose black because it'd be a good standard color, and yep, you can still see that in there. And now let's look at this little stone fly. 1.37 inch stone fly. So we just added basically what would probably be the equivalent of 2 drops of black. I want you to see it more in the baits. I mean, in the in the runner it looks great, but it looks good in those too. I don't know if that's picking up on camera, but I'm still seeing the effects of that glitter in there, and yes, sir, looks good. Usually when you add black, you can pick it up a little bit more, But in this case, it really seems like keeping it without the black, I think, is my favorite. I mean, you can see it in both, but I really like the way it shows up in that clear. All right, so, but I did have enough to shoot. I think I had enough to shoot these 2-inchers. So let's see what it looks like in a little bit thicker. Oh yeah. Yeah, that looks good. It just gives it just a little tickle of color. And I think y'all could, I mean, you can see it in the bait, but I think you can really see it in the runner, to be honest with you. So, yep, that's a good one. That's a keeper. I may have overheated my plastisol just a bit. I'm trying to test these, not torture test them, but yeah. Okay, let's see what happens. We are going with Nancy Sinatra's Golden Boots. This will be a good test for it because it is some hot plastisol. So let's get us a, see what happens there. Looks like it's going to hang with us. So let's put another one in there. That way we put the same amount as the first one. Sorry about that. Okay. We'll take it right over here. And we'll shoot the same mold. 1.3-inch stonefly. I can already tell this is holding up good. Okay. I'm probably not going to move the camera for all these guys because you've seen me shoot baits before. I'm going to try to knock all these out in one video, so excuse me if I don't adjust the camera every single time. But look at there, it's holding up well. See it in the cup. Let's add a drop of black. I'm not trying to do a whole lot of that black, just enough to put it up against the contrasting color. Look at there. But I did graduate from Appalachian State University, so I do like my black and gold. Go Mountaineers. I haven't decided yet how I'm going to edit this video. I really don't want to run an hour-long video, but I do want you to get the information. Okay. I don't know if that big one's shot. So here's the first ones. How beautiful is that? That's a cool bait. And I've caught some big bluegill off of it. If you don't believe me, go check out my Instagram page. And then what do we have here? Just a drop of black. I'd say that held up real well, wouldn't you? Here's a comparison. So will Mad Micas glitter hold up? So far it's looking pretty good. So far. Let's see here. I don't know if these 2-inch ones, I may not have had enough to draw up. Well. For some of them, some of the top ones did. One drop of that X2 color, and I probably, be honest with you, it was probably a half of a drop, because when it started protruding out, I swiped it off with the stirring stick. But if it's a half a drop, it's technically a drop. Let's go to the next one. All right, so here we go. Quicksilver. We're just going to go ahead and go straight to the 1/16 because we have with everything else. Ooh. Powdery. It's closing the pack and it was blowing. Yeah, no surprise here. Feels like it's starting to set up just a little bit, so we'll give it a little pop in the microwave. Alright. Same mold. Oh yeah. Yep. Here we go. All right, so let's look at what we got. Here is the first shot. Clear plastisol with that Quicksilver. definitely held up well. And then we have same bait with a drop of black. Got that smoke background. Definitely showing up nice. Good stuff. Pretty sure we had enough that time to do 2-inch. So that's what it looks like in a thicker bait. Pretty cool. As Coach McCrary would say, pretty good, pretty good, pretty good. I miss that man. He was a great person, great coach. All right, we got one more color, and that is Neptune. So far, all of these have held up, and they're all beautiful in the pack, but they've been beautiful in the plastisol as well. So we're gonna heat this one up. Neptune. (1/16). Well, that is a beautiful color. Let's shoot it. Here we go. Didn't take long. Here we go. Yep. So this one is doing the same way that the Fairy Princess did. Yeah, Fairy Tale Princess, I'm sorry. So the light reflecting off the flake is making the whole plastic appear to be blue. But then when you look at it outside of the cup, you can see that it's clear with blue flake. Here's a better example. Okay. All right, so now we're going to pop this back in and heat it up for just a little bit. back with a drop of black. So far, this blue, I think, is probably going to be one of my favorites as far as after adding the black to it. I just think it changed it. It almost made it look just like a metal. I went to school with a guy that he had a '69 Camaro, and he had an electric blue, and boy, it was pretty. What am I doing? I gotta show you the first one. Here's the first one. Here's the second one. See that smoke with that blue flake in it? Man, that's neat. I'm glad these are holding up. And now let's look at the big 2-inchers. But he had that electric blue '69 Camaro. He had the, man, that thing was sharp. But when that black, I stirred that black into this, and it had that blue metallic shine to it, I was like, man, that's what it reminded me of. So, beautiful color. Beautiful baits. Alright guys, thanks again for tuning in to Preacher's Creatures. Hope you enjoyed today's video where we sample tested some of these Mad Micas flake, and again we hit the Fairy Tale Princess, the Nancy Sinatra's gold boots, the Quicksilver, and the Neptune. And so we hit these 4 colors here, and in our next video we hope to cover the Lemony Felony and the Poison Berry right there, Emerald City, and Ruby Slippers. And I have high expectations that these are going to work just like the ones we did today did. And so I appreciate your time. Appreciate those that watch the videos all the way to the end. It really means a lot to me. I got to find a way. It's on me, but I got to find a way to get people more involved to watch the entire videos, because I'm up over 500 in my subscribers. I'm actually, as of earlier today, like 2 away from 600. But my viewing hours is not where I feel like it should be compared to that. I'm still like 1,000 viewing hours short of that first tier. And so even though I'm over 500 subscribers, I still don't have the viewing hours that I'm supposed to have to be qualified on that. So that's on me. I got to figure out a way to make my videos more interesting. But, you know, I like to be informative, and people, for the most part, don't sit down and read an encyclopedia from cover to cover. So, you know, there's issues when your videos are more informative, but at the same time, hopefully as I get more comfortable with this, I can make my videos more interesting and more entertaining. But until then, guys, thanks for watching, and don't forget, you'll love the features of Preacher's Creatures. Glitter party.